Right guys, it's been a while, hasn't it? So I've got a fair few bits I need to catch up on the news. I've been trying to get videos out a lot more regular than I have been lately, but life. So anyway, let's just start off with the match last night then, shall we? We've got the result that we all wanted, the victory. Gonna be honest with you, when we're going into that game, I did actually think we were gonna get beat. But we had a really good performance. It took us a while to get the goal, and it kind of felt like it needed to be something like that we were going to score from, because I'm not going to lie as well, like, the more the game went on, I just didn't see us scoring. I really didn't think that I didn't sense that there was a goal coming. Does that make sense? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, did you feel the same type of way with that? But got the first goal, obviously, and then I just feel like, obviously, Wolves had to come out and chase the game a little bit more, which gave us the opportunity to get the second. And yeah, we bagged the 3 points, guys, and as long as we keep this momentum going, we need to beat United now to have any potentially realistic chance of getting into that top four, in my opinion anyway. If we were to beat United, I think that would probably turn what has been kind of a negative season so far into a little bit of a positive and give us a little bit more of a shining light in that we could potentially push for that top four and qualify for the Champions League next season. Now, I'm not going to go in depth in like a bit of a review on the game because it's a bit too late for that now, but I would like to just point out that I think Stefan again showed why he's playing. I think that Fabinho probably had the best game he's had in a long while. The referee last night, like, I do not get or understand why he booked Fabinho last night. Like, I do a little bit of refereeing myself, and Fabinho didn't do any sort of dangerous play or anything, do you know what I mean? Like, the Wolves player went in for the tackle. Like, I understand, like, Fabinho, like, raked his studs across his leg, but that would not have happened had the Wolves player not gone in the way he did. I thought it was very strange that he got a booking there. I really did. Like, for me, it could have been like like where you coming together and you do like a bit of a drop ball or something like that. I wouldn't have booked him. If anyone were going to get a booking, it'd probably been the Wolves player if you had to book somebody. That was a really bad decision, that was, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, that's the Wolves game. I'm not going to go into much depth about. Bring on the United game at the weekend. Hopefully we can get 3 points there, and as I said, give us a more realistic chance of getting into that top four. Now, we have two other bits of news that I need to get over with today. And that is, firstly, let's start with this Alexis McAllister stuff. So it's come out, basically, that allegedly, again, his dad was at the Real Madrid game where we got absolutely hammered. Now, I don't think, and I could be wrong here, and I kind of hope I am a little bit, but I don't think that he would have gone there that publicly this early into, let's say, the planning for the summer transfer window if he were going to Liverpool. If I had to pick right now, I'd say he was there for the Real Madrid, like potentially going to Real Madrid in the summer. And I feel it kind of makes a little bit more sense that way because obviously Real Madrid are in the country. You go to the game while you're in the country. The only niggling two things that I think it could be potentially going to Liverpool is apparently we're sat with Liverpool officials, which if you were there for Real Madrid, then you'd be sat with the Real Madrid officials, not the Liverpool officials. And secondly, back in December, when, if you remember one of the videos I did a long time ago now, where we went in for Caicedo, apparently when we went in there, we asked for players, not player, in Caicedo. So maybe Alexis McAllister was the other player that we asked for during the January transfer window, which would make sense then in how he's now being seen around Liverpool when it's getting close to the summer. And we had Jurgen Klopp's comments that came out last press conference or the press conference before that where it was embargoed, where he basically said that Liverpool need to start now getting players booked in to come in during the summer transfer window rather than waiting too long. Now, I've got his profile up here on transfermarket.co.uk. It's a website I use a lot when I'm looking at players. Now, it says here he's 24 years of age, which surprised me a little bit. I thought he was probably older than that. His contract runs till 2025 with an option of a further year deal. So he's technically got 3 years left in his deal. These are currently valued at €42 million, which is, let's have a look at that in pounds. I don't think there'd be much difference nowadays, would there? 42 million euros in pounds. 37.24 pounds. He'd be worth more than that if Brighton were asking for nearly 80 odd for Caicedo. You know, he's a World Cup winner now, like. And if you look at this, his stats are a lot better than Caicedo. He's got 19 appearances in the league, 5 goals, no assists though, 6 yellows. It says here his position's mainly a central midfielder, but he can play as an attacking mid and a defensive mid. Most of his games though do come in the central area or more attacking. Now, this kind of does make a little bit of sense to me, does this, why we're going for him? Because if you look at the players we've been linked with lately as well, it's all been, lately, we've been linked with Mount, Lefy, who plays in France for Laurent or something like that, and now McAllister. These guys tend to be a little bit more on the attacking side. So this to me looks like Liverpool are pulling up a list for each position they need to cover. You know, we've got Bellingham, Mateus Nunes as potentially the box-to-box midfielders on the sides. Maybe we're going to get Alexis McAllister as like a backup or Mount as a backup, whatever. You know, but it's good that Liverpool have got a choice here, as in, you know, we're not going to go in as we normally do and say, right, we need this one player, we're going to wait for this one player, and then, we're not going to go in. I think, by the looks of this, if Liverpool don't get first choice, second choice, third choice, they're going to have a fourth, fifth, sixth choice, which it don't sound too good, but at the end of the day, Salah wasn't Jurgen Klopp's first choice. Mane wasn't Jurgen Klopp's first choice. I think he wanted Brandt instead of Salah, and Mario Götze instead of Mane. I think that's what I'm correct there in that. So let's wait and see what happens here. But I'm inclined to say it's because for Real Madrid's interest, but at the same time, with what we heard over Boxing Day and us asking for midfielders from Brighton, then it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, this price here, it'll be double that if we wanted to sign him 100%. If they were trying to get that much for Caicedo, you're looking at probably 60, 70, 80 for this lad as well. So, right, moving on to the last one now, which is this article came out in the Telegraph, which basically goes on about Liverpool owners are targeting media companies to take a minority stake. And this one is US media giant Liberty Media. Now, they own, according to this, F1, which I didn't know that, to be fair, as well as the Atlanta Braves of the MLB. Just trying to go on where it says here, finalized. Oh, that's just tracking on about like the F1 here. Now, the thing about this that don't make a little bit of sense to me is that if they own F1, they've just announced a 15-year partnership, it says here, with Tottenham to have a karting track to be built underneath the stadium down there. You'd think if they were going to get involved with a Premier League side, if they've got that deal already in place with Spurs, that they'd go with Spurs. So I don't know why this is being mentioned with Liverpool. Like, it don't make no sense to me, does this? Unless it's being put out there to try and get somebody else to come and buy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not progressing with your talks. Let's see if we can get someone else in to do this instead. Does anybody know anything about Liberty Media? Other than what I've just read out about that, like they own this, that, and the other. Like, are they actually good owners? Do they put money into the team I've never heard of the Atlanta Braves. Like, so they can't be that good of an MLB team. No offense if you're a fan out there, but I've literally never heard of them. But if they own F1, they must have some serious money behind them. But again, here it says they're not going to come in as owners, but just a minority stake. Now, this is the point I wanted to actually make of this, which is the minority stake thing. I have mentioned it before, but the wording of what happens would be very interesting to me, which is if it's a minority stake in FSG, very similar to Redbird, then I don't think Liverpool Football Club would have any sort of benefits from that at all, because it'd go into FSG. Now, if whatever their money they're putting in becomes a Liverpool minority investment, not FSG, then we might actually see some benefit in the short term, where let's just say I don't even know how much they'd put in. Let's say it's between 500 million to a billion. I don't think obviously we're going to get all that money to go towards the transfers, but FSG might loosen the purse strings a little bit and go, hey, there's 300 million to go spend this summer, and you can get Jude Bellingham, blah 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 blah, whatever. And the rest of it might go into like the stadium rights, because we still need something to do with the stadium, not the stadium, the stand that they're currently building. I think they were looking for like a sponsor for that, so maybe it could tie in with that. So, right, I'll leave that there, guys. I don't really have much more to say about Liberty Media other than that. Just didn't make a little bit of sense to me, and the wording, if it was to go through, is it FSG or is it Liverpool, would determine whether I'm happy or not. Like if it's FSG, as I've just said, won't be bothered, won't be happy, won't mean nothing to us. If it's in Liverpool, then yeah, that's good news for me in the short term, not long term. And it probably makes FSG more likely to stay around for a few more years until they can get someone to actually come in and buy the club. But hey ho, that's that anyway, guys. So I'll leave that video there. My next video I'll try and get out for you will be about the press conference tomorrow for the Man United game. Let's see what comes out of that. So yeah, if you're new here, guys, please subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with everything else I've got going on. Give the video a like if you have not done so already, and also put a comment down below on everything I've just covered to let me know your thoughts on it all, and I'll catch you in the next one.